Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 2017 LMS Summer Split. Game 2 coming up here between M17 and Rise Gaming. Rise Gaming going to be on the red side this time, able to take Game 1 after a little bit of a rough start, giving over that first blood to the Corki there in the mid lane, but they came back very nicely. PK with some huge plays popping off on that Jarvan, getting that turnaround double kill under the botched tower dive, and they are just able to group with their team fighting composition and take the game quite handily. We see the changes coming through for these teams. It will be the ban away from the Orianna onto Wuji, so they don't want that powerful mid laner anymore, and they continue the pressure on the mid lane, actually, taking away the Galio as well, which was also a ban in the first game. So definitely want to try to prevent the mid laner of Rise Gaming to have too much of an impact in this game. Maokai is going to be the last ban coming out of M17, so not willing to first pick it maybe, but also don't want to give it away. It's going to be the Zac, Thresh, and Cassiopeia ban on the side of Rise Gaming, leaving the Cape open, but actually, a little fun fact, D is currently 0-5 on the Caitlyn this split, so teams are willing to give it over because they just can't seem to make it work for themselves. Looks like M17 will continue with the trend, though. They're going to go ahead and pick it up. They're saying, we can make it work, we will make it work. They first picked that one. So, of course, Zac almost always going to be banned on the red side here, and they take away the Thresh as well, trying to put Dreamer onto a less impactful champion. It will be the Braum first pick, actually, here from Rise Gaming. We saw them take Kalista first last time, but they hovered the Braum, so they may be looking to just grab that Kalista Braum lane right away. Of course, they don't have to pick the AD carry right now, because Caitlyn was already locked in. They're going to go ahead and grab the jungler, so it's the Permafrost duo coming in for Rise Gaming. Basically, anytime we see the Sejuani, it's going to be paired up with the Braum. Or at least that's what teams would want to do. The two passives work so well together. The engage or re-engage, possibly, from the side of Rise Gaming already looking very strong. And it looks like it's going to be the double 80 carry comp coming in again for M17. So maybe they don't think it was completely the team fight's fault. Team composition's fault, I should say. But maybe just the execution. Tom Kench is going to be picked up to try to avoid some of that CC and gobble up the carries. It will be Talia locked in for Wuji, so they ban away the Galio and the Orianna, but they still get a powerful roaming pick there in the mid lane. And Talia will have the pushing advantage, so look for Rise Gaming to possibly, as soon as Talia hits 6, to make some plays as well with the Sejuani. They have so much engage, you might even see a tower dive to the top side. The pair of Talia and Sejuani, pretty much whatever top laner Rise Gaming ends up locking in here, will have some kill potential. So they may look to just draft a pushing top laner as well to try to take over this game early on. Be interesting to see what the bans coming out are from these teams. I'm interested to see if M17 is going to ban the Kalista. They will, actually. Rise Gaming decided not to pick up the Kalista and risk getting it banned because they wanted the Talia in the mid lane there. So bans coming out in the second phase for these two teams that we didn't mention yet is the Camille in the top lane. So they're taking away one of the carries from PK. See that there's a pretty tanky lineup already from Rise Gaming, so that opens up the possibility for them to pick up a carry top lane. M17 say, you can play carry one, but we don't want you to play the Camille. And the bans coming out from Rise Gaming were the Rumble and Gragas. A little bit of shared focus there. They actually, as you can see, they want to take away some of the pushing power in the top lane for 3Z. Taking away that Rumble. Looks like it might be the Jarvan, so they might look to take away PK's previous pick. It worked well for him, so they're saying maybe it'll work well for us. They M17, I feel like, do need to bring a bit of engage with these last two picks, because so far all they have are the 280 carries and then the Tom Kench, of course, to keep them safe. We'll see what the last pick is here for M17. It looks like it might be the Elise. Good combo there for some CC. Switching it up, actually, it's the Rek'Sai, so another kind of early game control going down. Taizan is going to be repeating the performance onto that Rek'Sai. He definitely loves playing that one. We'll see what the last pick is for Rise Gaming. They did pick up the Jhin for themselves in the bot lane. So it's not quite the Kalista, but still going to offer a lot of utility in CC. Again, it goes with their roaming around and making plays. And speaking of, the Shen locked in for Rise Gaming. So they are definitely going to be looking to, when they hit 6, start to make some catches with these globals. Might see a little bit of focus on the top lane here, actually, for Laba. Gonna push that lane in and maybe make some aggressive plays, try to punish 3Z for this Jarvan pick. You need to bring some engage somewhere here. Unfortunately for them, Jarvan's the really only, say, consistent or reliable engage coming from the side of M17. You worry a little bit for them. They will have pretty hard lane matchups across the board. Of course, Shen, Jarvan probably going to go pretty even. Jarvan might have the pushing advantage. Unless Shen, you might see him look to pick up an early timeout, actually. To turn that around a bit and get the advantage. Of course, Wuji in that mid lane going to be looking to keep this Corki locked down. So far, I'm liking Rise Gaming's team comp a little bit more. It just seems like they have easier to pull off options and a more basic and clear win condition that they can go and pursue. As you see the team comps locked in on your screen there, coaches are going to shake hands and walk off the stage. We're going to go ahead and jump into this one. A little bit too far there. That's a bit better as we see Rise Gaming with a bit of a, not invade, but looking to get some early vision down here. Want to be able to spot out where 3Z is starting. So far, I don't believe they have seen him. They're looking to hang around this Raptor area, though. Apex hanging around. Making sure nothing fishy goes on here. Looks like it will be the standard start, most likely, for Laba on that Sejuani. Actually, just might look to start the red buff here. This Rise Gaming bot lane is very scary. Usually see this Jhin either paired up with the Braum or the Thresh. Just offers quite a bit of CC, especially when you can get some levels going. It will be the Raptor start for Taizan here, so Apex is going to hang around and help him out. He will take a little bit of punishment there from Wuji. Throwing a few Qs his way. Standard start here from Taizan. Going to grab those Raptors, head on over to the red buff. Lava starting his red buff. We'll go ahead and skip the Raptors, maybe looking for buff to buff and make an early gank potential probably. If you can get these lanes going, it'll be very hard again for M17. They drafted a kind of a similar comp that they had in Game 1. So it'll be interesting to see if they can actually properly do it this time and get it rolling and start knocking down these towers. Didn't quite spot which first dragon is going to be here. We'll see eventually. And it is Cloud Drake, so unlikely that these teams will put too much priority onto that one. So Lava's going to go ahead and secure his blue buff. Continue clearing the jungle. Doesn't quite see any opportunities quite yet. Taizan, meanwhile, going to clear his red side and look to maybe get a bit of an invade on. This is quite similar to how the last game started. We just swapped sides and Lava's on a different tank jungler, but again, Taizan looking to punish the early game with that Rek'Sai pick. 3Z in the top lane here, taking an unfavorable trade, you might say. Good job by PK there. Maybe trying to force a summoner out of Wuji. Not quite going to happen. He's a little bit too close to tower. Just looking to make a presence there in the lane. This top lane here, pretty much just two tanks. Not going to be much kill potential, I don't think, unless we see a kind of a huge mess up. Or some heavy jungler interference. As you can see, Taizan continuing to abuse this Rek'Sai pick. Just constantly getting in the face of Lava, and that's actually really important. If he can shut down Lava from having any effect on these lanes, M17 just might be able to pull ahead here. Start gaining control around these towers, especially these outer towers here in the early game. Taizan continuing the counter aggression, and because Jarvan has the early split, the early push lead, I should say, he's able to keep PK under tower. And this duo is absolutely laying into them. Taizan, though, going for the kill actually here. Lava's in a lot of trouble. Gets a knock up. Both flashes up. He's going to have to time this well. He does not time it well enough. First blood over to the Rek'Sai. Now 3Z in a bit of trouble. He goes down trying to help out his jungler when he didn't really need it. So it's a 1-for-1 in the end. First blood does go over to the side of M17, but a little bit of a whoopsie there from 3Z. Not really respecting how many times he's getting whacked in the face by that Shen. I'll have to see exactly what happened. Just wasn't paying attention. It will be the TPs most likely used from both of these top laners. Neither of them lost out on too much CS as there was no wave being pushed in the tower. So again, a little bit of a misplay there from M17 on that top side. But Taizan, definitely not misplaying. Able to get that kill, and he's been all over this Sejuani in the early game here, trying to shut her down, making sure she can't have any effect on these lanes. That's what Rek'Sai is so good at doing with these early paths he's able to take in these early clears. Definitely has the early game advantage on this champion, and he is looking to use it. He really needs to if they want to be able to win this game as well. So a lot of these lanes are going to end up pushing in RG's favor eventually, especially this mid lane here. Laba struggling very early on. As you can see, he's already down a lot of CS and a kill. He's got no minions, unfortunately. When you're stuck just waiting for your camps to spawn, you know things aren't going too well. Gonna have to look to maybe just play around these lanes and get some of them going. A lot of CC down here in this bot lane. It is going to be very hard pressed to gank at Caitlyn Tahm Kench, though. Caitlyn with the massive range. Tahm Kench, of course, with the Devour, able to keep any AD carry safe. See Rise Gaming here just playing defensively for now. Those waves clear. Wuji, meanwhile, pulling out to a tiny bit of a CS lead, although if Apex is able to clean these up properly, shouldn't come into effect. Talia here hitting 6. Unfortunately, Laba is a little bit behind on the curve. Not quite even close to getting that Glacial Prism. While in the top lane here, PK pushing a little bit forward. Some on-the-way pings going down. Might look to go for a gank up top. Cataclysm has been hit for 3Z, and no flash on the side of PK. It's a possibility. It looks like the junglers are going to run into each other yet again. Laba, I'm sure, scarred from the previous encounters with the Rek'Sai. He's going to go ahead and just run over the wall. An early lane swap here from M17. I'm interested to see what the plan is here. They weren't necessarily struggling in the 2v2 by any means. It's interesting to see them pull this one off. May just look for the tempo play and catch that wave while it's pushing. It is a pretty big wave. Could work out nicely. They've also brought Taizen up here, so 4-man strong. Rise Gaming are going to be a little slow on the rotation. They might just look to catch them off guard here and just take this tower straight up. If they can set the Shen behind as well, it will do wonders stopping Rise Gaming. Decent rotation coming out. Laba a little bit low, though. Koala with a nice read was able to come up here relatively soon. See how this ends up going. M17 definitely have the advantage here, but I'm not sure it's enough to be able to actually go aggressive under this tower. Of course, Talia, Weaver's Wall is available, so they got to be careful they don't get collapsed on, especially if Koala hits 6 here on this Braum. Looks like it'll just be a very, very early lane swap coming out of these two teams. We'll see which of them come out with the advantage. Vex on this Corki here, just farming it up, grabbing that cull for himself. Just looking to scale into this damage dealer that we know he can become. Caitlyn a little bit more powerful in the early game, of course. Does scale quite well, though. Still on patch 7.13 here, so that attack speed hasn't gotten nerfed yet. As we see the top laners reconvene in the bot lane. 6 has been hit here by Koala. He's able to roam in a little bit sooner and get that XP. Blue buff picked up here by Wuji is going to help do wonders pushing in this wave, trying to keep this Corki under control. Maybe even look to roam here to the top side. Decent vision control, though. It's what you want to see from M17, especially with your dual lane. Usually wherever the dual lane is, especially when the laning phase starts to break down a bit, you see the vision also being put in that area as well. Jarvan feeling a little bit unsafe pushing too far forward. He's actually going to go ahead and share a little bit of that Raptor experience. It's possible that M17 wanted out of the 1v1 in the top lane, which is why they might have called the very early lane swap. Looks like 3Z is a little unsure about this matchup right now, afraid of getting ganked. Although it should be PK who's afraid of getting ganked right now. We have this unique to Rek'Sai ganking path. Flash is up for PK, and he is under tower now. He's not really that tanky yet. Looks like he is going for the early timeout with that longsword as well. The ward will spot him out, so that's going to be thwarted for now. He's going to go ahead and back out of this one, meet up with Corki, and they may just look to take a free Cloud Drake. Good job by Apex in the mid lane to get mid priority. Swap down here. We're not probably going to expect much contest coming from the side of Rise Gaming. Just a Cloud Drake. Most teams don't prioritize that very highly. Package burned from the Corki just to get back to the lane, trying to pick up some of the CS. Interesting early game so far. M17 able to pull out with a little bit of a gold lead thanks to some farm advantages. I like that Doran ring start here from Lil V on the Jhin. Very interesting adaptation that we've seen as of recently. A lot of these Jhin players, they like it for so they can spam their spells out. Gives them that a little bit of a laning phase advantage. Of course, the Dancing Grenade and the Deadly Flourish have a little bit of an AP ratio as well, so not really sacrificing any damage as well as being able to spam those spells even more frequently is good news for Jhin. Looks like the lanes have been swapped back now for these two teams. Gonna get an advantage anywhere they can. No major advantages claimed by these teams so far. It's just going to be about a 1k gold advantage for M17 right now. Possibly M17 might look to shut down this global threat coming out, especially from the mid and top lane. With these constant lane swaps, they want to try to catch Rise Gaming off guard, not let them get their bearings, not let them come together here as a unit and make plays. Looks like PK is going to be thwarted back a little bit. His recall stopped. He's actually going in for the taunt now, looking to trade damage onto Taizan. Might not be the best idea. 3Z hanging around. He's going to scare him away. PK wants to try to reestablish dominance here in this top lane, but he's not really quite that big on Shen yet. Huge rotation coming down here from Rise Gaming. They got 3 strong. Is the Tahm Kench, though, so it's going to be always a hard, tall task to gank that lane with the Devourer available and ready. D feeling very confident stepping forward. Try to clear out that control ward. Nice unbreakable. Fighting for the vision. Deadly Flourish does land here. Again, with Tahm Kench waiting in the wings. Not much opportunity to go in. Nice juke here. And it will be the Rift Herald started up from the side of Machi17. We'll see if Rise Gaming want to contest this one. Taliyah is on the way as well as Sejuani. M17 have the grouping advantage. They're all here as 3. We'll see. It looks like Rise Gaming do want to contest this one. It goes over. They haven't picked it up yet. There's the Glacial Prison throwing in, catching 2. Absolutely huge. And there's the Wombo that you're so afraid of. And that is 2 free kills. And they weren't even able to pick up the Rift Herald. I'm crying tears of sadness for the side of Machi17. Feeling a bit too confident going for that. Not respecting the global pressure. They thought they had the push advantage in the mid lane and the recall coming out of Wuji. But he is Taliyah. He snowboards very fast, and that ult can get him places surprisingly quickly, and they took a little bit too much damage from that Rift Herald. This is what you definitely don't want to happen if you're the side of Rise Gaming. If you're the side of Machi17. Giving this team composition, it's somewhat similar from last game where they do want to group up and get these team fights. With a little more emphasis on objective control, of course, with that Taliyah. Rise Gaming all of a sudden pretty much bringing this game even, picking up 2 kills for themselves, going to negate a lot of that farm advantage. You see it majorly in the jungle and the mid lane. Surprisingly, actually, here, Apex able to pull this early farm lead. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that Lava was shut down so heavily in the early game by Taizan. Meant that Apex was freed up to play quite aggressively. Didn't really have to be afraid of anything. Meanwhile, Wuji was probably on the defensive. A lot of pings going down here onto the blue buff. Would be nice to be able to take it away, but I don't think they quite have the pressure to be able to do that. Tahm Kench on his way back. D doing his best job to solo defend this tower for now. Here comes the big old frog. He's going to be helping out his AD carry here. Rise Gaming, though, on the aggressive in the bot lane. They have their Sejuani hanging around, so they feel pretty confident. Well, in the top lane, PK starting to turn this matchup around here. Got that timeout complete, so he's going to be looking to keep this pushed in pretty much permanently if he can. This is where where RG's team comp can start to take over the game. If you can get all 3 lanes pushing at once, and then use that Taliyah wall to either rotate to the bot or top, it really doesn't matter. As long as you bring the Sejuani with you, you can really start to punish Machi17 for their lack of lane control here. Package is picked up, though, from the Corki. We'll see if they themselves want to make a bit of a play. Next dragon will be the Infernal, spawning in about a minute. I really would like to see Rise Gaming use this team comp to secure that dragon relatively easily with the Taliyah wall. If they get in there early, it's going to be hard for M17 with this double 80 carry team comp to actually shove their way in and contest for vision, really. Rise Gaming will be able to just keep these waves pushed in. Side of M17, you might look for them to try to make a play even earlier than that and catch Rise Gaming off guard. As you can see, they're bringing quite a few members up to this top lane. 4 members strong. Here comes the Tom Kenshalt. They're looking to catch out PK in this top side. Flash burn, but he gets exhausted. He is going nowhere. That kills go over to Apex. They will trade towers. Looks like first tower will be picked up on the side of Rise Gaming. They're going to pick up that bonus gold, but it's a kill and a tower going over to Machi 17, excuse me. They're going to have a bit of a tempo lead, actually. Continuing to push a little bit. They will actually call the recall. Of course, Infernal Drake spawning in 20 seconds, so they don't want to give that one up. PK will be spawning in about 5 seconds. He's got the TP and the stand united. So he'll be able to return to that top lane for now and be ready with the ultimate. So Machi 17 with a good preemptive move, but it might have been a bit too early, as they ended up spending a bit too much time in the top lane. They might have given up positional advantage already on this Infernal Drake. Rise Gaming should be able to pick this one up relatively free, especially with the Talia wall coming through. Unless we get a Miracle Prey Seeker steal here, not going to happen. Good job by Rise Gaming to body block that one. And very well played by them, even though they give up a kill in the top lane. They secure control over that dragon area and are able to trade a turret. Infernal Drake over to the side of Rise Gaming. They're going to be very happy with that one. Especially denying it away from the double 80 carries. Especially away from the Corki, who might be the biggest benefactor. Maybe behind Jhin, I believe, for getting the Infernal Drake. Of course, with the AD and the AP stats, those two champions are going to be very happy about that. Jhin, of course, scales so heavily off of AD and basically is a Tyra kit. He's got, he sold the Doran's Ring, actually. I was going to say he has the Doran's Ring for the AP synergy, but not quite going to come through there. As Machi 17 looking to push this wave in. Looks like Apex wants to get a recall off. Be a little bit of aggression in the bot lane here. Got to be careful. Their Corki is not on the map currently. So they will be down a man. Fight were to happen right then and there. It does not. Nice disengage, though. They're just going to stick around and clear this wave. They have to be a bit careful. They don't have super great vision, especially of that connecting area between the mid lane and the bot side jungle, but looks like Rise Gaming aren't interested in pressuring down there just yet. M17 are going to have to make some good plays around this Tom Kenshalt, I feel like, to catch Rise Gaming off guard before they can group up and start to control these areas. Next dragon is going to be a mountain. Would like to see Machi 17 at some point here go on the aggressive. If they just let Rise Gaming do what they want, it is going to be probably not good news for them. They do have the scaling, but I feel like I don't want them to be kind of pigeonholed into that just scale to late game mentality. I feel like the quality of team of Rise Gaming is not going to let that happen. As you can see, here comes the Talia wall. They're looking to make a play. Good rotation down here from PK. Nice taunt landing onto D. He is good as gone. He goes down. PK picks up that kill. Curtain Call opens up. They're looking for another onto Dreamer. Tries to juke. Burns the flash as well, but he's going to get slowed and CC to oblivion. The shield not doing anything to save him. It's going to be Wuji picking up that kill. M17 doing their best to try to get something back in this top and mid lane. Unfortunately, TP still available for PK. He's going to be able to come to this top lane and respond. That is a very good play there from Rise Gaming, utilizing that team comp very well. Just catching them off guard with the Talia rotation. You can't let that happen if you're M17. You know exactly what Rise Gaming is trying to do with this team comp. They're falling prey to it here so far. Looks like even a bit of a trap setup here. Little mini Fnatic Death Brush situation going on. Red buff will be spawning. They might just look to take that one away really quick or catch out Taizan. He's not tanky at all right now yet on this Rek'Sai. Looks like they will be able to take it away. And that is what vision gets you, and they may look for more actually. Dreamer might get caught out. Deadly Force does not quite land, so they're not going to go ahead and follow up on that one. Just take the red, back off. Rise Gaming so far taking a lot. They still actually have a gold deficit though. Majorly due to the fact that Mach 17 is doing a good job keeping up the farm, especially in that mid lane and jungle, but most of the pressure and crucially all of the proactive plays so far have mostly come from the side of Rise Gaming, except for that one play in the top lane where they used the Tom Kenshalt quite wisely. But even in that play, they ended up giving up the Infernal Drake, so see if Rise Gaming will continue to play around these global objectives, utilizing the Shen and Talia pick. Basically, you will look to see wherever the Sejuani is usually where Rise Gaming will end up sending most of their resources, because that's going to be where a lot of the engage in CC comes from. And it's going to be looked to be the follow-up damage from the rest of the squad. See Taizan here, going to spot out Koala over the wall with the Tremor Sense. So D will have that preemptive information. Baron has spawned here, about 2 minutes on this Mountain Drake. Rise Gaming will want to be knocking down this mid-turret pretty much right away. Nice Devour comes down onto Dreamer, but he gets the 2-for-1 stun deal. And Dreamer's in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have flash, but he's pretty tanky here. Here comes Wuji with the Talia ult just to gain the distance. They really want to kill here. Lava going deep does not quite land the knock-up. And 3Z burns the teleport, trying to dissuade Rise Gaming from continuing their aggression. They're all grouped up now in the mid lane. It has turned into a bit of an ARAM here. Will M17 decide to stay? They do have the Cataclysm engage if they want it. That's pretty much it here. Rise Gaming not looking to give them the chance. So much damage coming out of that top lane Shen. Here comes the counter engage though. Nice knock up onto Koala. He's got the Unbreakable up though. Lil V taking a bit too much damage. Deadly Flourish flashed away from by Apex. An absolutely hectic skirmish here in the mid lane. No kills are going to come of it, but about 1 billion summoners and a lot of health being traded back and forth. Looks like it's the complete disengage here from Rise Gaming. Going to look to recall and reset for this Mountain Drake that's going to be coming up. I'm sure they want to eventually knock down this one. They might play between the mid lane and the Dragon area here. Use that Talia wall to try to secure one of these objectives for themselves. As you can see, we take a look at the replay. Rise Gaming looking to catch them off guard. Fortunately, they use most of their damage onto the Tahm Kench. Curtain call, point blank. It's not quite able to land those shots. Just barely missing back and forth. Nice fancy feed out of Dreamer. M17 a bit indecisive whether they wanted to re-engage this one or not. Didn't see many low health bars on the side of Rise Gaming. Just a big, long mess of abilities being traded back and forth. As we jump back to live here, we got a little bit of action in the top lane. Apex looking to catch Wuji off guard, but it's Wuji actually getting a little bit of the better of that trade. M17 in that top lane. Apex trying to make a hero play, not quite going to work out. Lava meanwhile trying to secure his big raptor. Taizan's going to say, nope, that's mine. Unburrow out of here, and he should be fine. Burrow out of here, I should say. Mountain Drake has spawned. It is Rise Gaming with control of that area for now. They may want to put a few more deep wards in there. Scuttle Crab is over to the side of M17, so they're going to have a tiny bit of vision of this one, but it doesn't look like they're actually interested in contesting. Good job by PK there to push out the bot lane. So you can get priority on that and fall back to help his team with this dragon. Will be a pretty easy one over. Don't even need the smite. It's the Jin Fort shot smite. Securing that one. So they will be happy with that pickup. Still a 2k gold lead here from M17. They're doing a good job so far, making sure Rise Gaming doesn't group up too much. They're trying to keep the pressure here, but Rise Gaming looking to turn that one around. The rotation comes. Taizan in a lot of trouble here. Stun will go down from the Braum passive, and there's the Glacial Prison to finish it off. Now Apex, Curtain Call opens up. He's trying to get away. He's got nowhere to run, though, and this is, again, the team comp from Rise Gaming. You can see what M17 are trying to do. They're trying to pull RG around the map and prevent them from grouping up and making these plays, but they're not putting enough vision down, and they're not respecting the roams coming out, especially from this Talia. It's actually the Baron startup from Rise Gaming here. They took down the jungler and the mid laner, and I like this call here. Getting as much as they can off of it. It is spotted out here by that ward, but really nothing M17 can do about it. Rise Gaming have a really good front line that are able to tank up the Baron, and they got the damage. No smite steal even will be close as Taizan just now spawning. So that's going to be a Baron 24 minutes into this game over to the side of RG, and it's going a little bit similarly to the first game. You can give credit to M17 for keeping this gold lead as long as they have, but they may have a gold lead, but they do not have any sort of pressure lead. They've given up Infernal and Mountain and Baron now. Rise Gaming have put themselves in a very good situation. They really want to start knocking down these towers, though. That's where they're going to get all the money. Talia ult coming up soon. Look for them to start to get this push on. Start rotating between these waves. 17 might look to use the Tahm Kench ult here to catch somebody off guard. Pushing aggressively in this mid lane, though, taking advantage of the fact that Rise Gaming had their resources spread a little thin, but it's going to be the engage again coming out from Rise Gaming. So many tools, and it is Taizan getting locked up for what seems like the 4th or 5th time in a row. He tries to flash to get away from it, so much slows. especially coming out of this permafrost combo. And now that they have the man advantage, they just might look to dive this. They have the front line for it. Here comes Lava, looking to throw that Glacial Prison down eventually. A nice Braum ult comes down. I believe Lava used it actually to take down the Rek'Sai, so didn't quite have the follow-up for that one. But they burned the TP out of 3Z. It's now 5v4 in the mid lane. M17 got the trap set up. They're trying hard to defend this, but it's hard when they can flank so easily like this. Pushing the carries, trying to distract him. There's the Weaver wall, crucially, and that's going to secure the tower for sure. That is what you like to see out of Rise Gaming. Finally able to knock down that tower. A lot of wave clear coming from M17, which is why that was up for so long, as well as the trap line getting set up. That's really what Rise Gaming need to look to do from now on, is take down these towers. Still have the Baron for a little while. Next dragon is going to be Infernal, which is a very bad news if you're M17. Giving over 2 Infernals to a team fighting composition. Not the ideal situation. Just not sure how M17 plan to get in on these fights when they actually want them. It seems like the only way they can is if it's actually Rise Gaming who mess up. Like, Tom Kenshall, as you can see, can catch people out, but it's only if they really overextend and don't respect it. Seems like M17 will be just kind of trying to play around the re-engage. Hopefully the 280 carries can scale up and end up doing enough damage. Jarvan needs to get a little bit tankier as well. As you can see, the Rek'Sai gets absolutely obliterated. It'll be the top lane tower getting secured by Rise Gaming, and this is where the gold lead will start to really swing when Rise Gaming is able to pressure them off these towers. Stunned lands actually onto Taizan. Might be in a bit of trouble. The CC chain will be fierce, and that will be it for the jungler of M17. He gets shown firsthand what this team composition can do. At his 4th death of the game, really struggling to regain control of his jungle here, just giving away a little bit too many deaths. Now it'll be another man advantage for the side of Rise Gaming. Baron buff is still going to be up for a tiny little while. Infernal Drake spawning soon. They're looking to just cut off M17 from defending this mid lane tower. That they're just going to completely walk around this trap setup. I like that play out of Rise Gaming. It is annoying to deal with, so why bother? There's the zoning curtain call and the zoning Talia wall just in case they really want to be able to knock down this mid-tier 2 tower, and I believe they will get it. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, PK trying to keep up the pressure. Might look to rotate down there next, or recall and reset for this Infernal Drake. M17 trying to take the opportunity to push a little bit forward. They recognize the rotation coming through. It is indeed coming. 3Z taking a bit of damage there. Might be the re-engage. Sees the opportunity. Heal pop by Lil V, keeping himself safe. Cataclysm gets dropped. Not going to do much right now, though. Still a big front line coming out of Rise Gaming. Nice stun lands onto the Tahm Kench. Grey Shield probably not going to save him. Indeed, it won't. PK picks up that kill. And Rise Gaming continuing with their aggression. Apex forced the flash away from Wuji's damage. Now PK going even deeper. They will pick up another kill onto D. Taizan might look to go down for the 5th time this game. That is a triple kill for the Jhin. And make it a quadra. Rise Gaming absolutely turning it on, showing them how it's done. Picking these similar team comps both games in a row, and both games M17 could not quite play around the team fighting team comps coming out of Rise Gaming. They may just look to put an early end to this one, and I don't think there's anything M17 can do about it. Dreamer is going to be up, but he is just a lonely frog. And that is going to be the 2nd Nexus Tower dropping. And what looked promising from M17 for a while there, they were working Rise Gaming around the map pretty well, but eventually the roams came and caught up with them. Rise Gaming were able to group up and start to drop these objectives, and they're going to take this series 2-0 decisively. Very well played by them, playing to their team composition strength, which is a very good sign. Of course, they are a top-tier team here in the LMS. You would expect nothing less. M17 tried their best with the double 80 carry comp twice in a row, but just didn't quite have the prowess to pull it off, unfortunately for them, but GG well played to Rise Gaming.